Good afternoon, students. Today we will discuss about some literary terms which are very important to understand English literature. So let's start. First of all, I would like to tell you literary terms are the decorative tools for a literature. Okay. So first and foremost, literary term for today is Alexandrianism. Alexandrianism, the works and style of Alexandrian school of Greek poets in the Hellenistic age. So what is Alexandrianism? The works and styles of the Alexandrian school of Greek poets in the Hellenistic age, which is 323 to 331 BC, which included Callimachus, Apollonius, and Rhodius and Theocritus. So these are some important Alexandrians. First Callimachus, Apollonius, Rhodius, and Theocritus. Alexandrian style was marked by elaborate artificiality. It is full of elaborate artificiality, and obscure mythological allusion and eroticism. So these are basic characteristics of Alexandrianism. The writings. Alexandrian is a style which is full of elaborate artificiality, obscure mythological allusion, and eroticism. It influenced Catullus and other Roman poets. So, Alexandrianism is a style of writing literature, especially poems, which are full of elaborate artificiality and allusion and mythological allusion, obscure mythological allusion, and eroticism. So there are three things: mythological allusion, elaborate artificiality, and lastly eroticism. These are the tools which are used in the poems which were written during this age. Now next term which is related to Alexandrianism, Alexandrine. What is Alexandrine in a poem? So let's say a verse line of 12 syllables adopted by poets since the 16th century as the standard verse form of French poetry. It was adopted in the 16th century standard form of French poetry, especially dramatic and narrative. The Alexandrine is a verse line of 12 syllables which were used in dramatic and narrative poems of the 16th century, especially in France and to some extent in English literature of England. It was first used in the 12th century. Janssens de Gesti, and probably takes the name from its use in Lambert Latour's Roman de Alexandre. Century 1200. So this name is derived from a piece of writing, Lombard litorts, Roman D, Alexander, century 200. The division of the line into two groups of six syllables divided by a caesura was established in the age of Racine but later challenged by Victor Hugo and other 19th century poets. So we can say it was started in the 12th century and derived from the Lombard Roman de Alexander, and the division of the line into two groups of six syllables divided by a caesura was established in the age of Renaissance but later challenged by the Victor Hugo in the 19th century. Okay, the English Alexandrine is in iambic hexameter and thus has six stresses, whereas the French line usually has four. So English Alexandrine is iambic hexameter and is six stressed and six unstressed syllables out of 12. And on the other hand, French, there are only four stressed syllables and eight unstressed syllables. The English Alexandrine is an iambic hexameter and thus has six stresses, whereas the French line usually has four and is found rarely except as the final line in the Spenserian stanza as in case the Eve of St. Agnes. So it is found rarely except as the final line of the Spenserian stanza as indicates the Eve of St. Agnes. She knelt, so pure a thing, so free from mortal tent. She knelt, so pure a thing, so free from mortal tent. A rare example of extended Alexandrine composition in English is Robert Browning's poem Pipine at the Fair. The best and rare example of extended Alexandrine composition in English is Robert Browning's poem Pipine at the Fair, 1872. So basically, let me know about what is Alexandrine. Alexandrine is a verse line that is used in the poems. It was started in the 12th century. Roman the Alexander of Lombard litorts, and it was used in the 16th century prevalently in French poetry and in English poetry. And what is the difference between Alexandrine of English and that of French poetry? In English, it has been divided into two parts of six syllables, and six stressed syllables and six unstressed syllables are found in English. On the other hand, in French literature, you will be able to find four stressed syllables and eight unstressed syllables. The best example of Alexandrine is Robert Browning's poem Pipine at Fair, 1872, and it was challenged in the 19th century. Victor Hugo was one of the writers who write Alexandrine pieces of writing. Keats also write Saint Eve of Saint Agnes also have some Alexandrines here. I would like to quote that line here. She knelt so pure a thing, so free from mortal tent. There are 12 syllables, 12 are stressed and 12 are unstressed syllables. So these are two terms today we have discussed about Alexandrianism and Alexandrine. Alexandrianism is a age that is very old, 323 to 331 AD, and it was a period where extended artificiality, elaborative artificiality, and eroticism was used. These are the techniques which were used by the writers of this age. And this was the age related to the narrative poems, and you can say especially to drama. So thank you listening. Let's see again. Okay, bye all of you.